Let's just make sure we can hear ourselves. We got 15 people for today's race, so not a bad turnout. I just need to check the standings so I can get a better look at what's going on. Oh, I don't think I have the standings. Never mind. We've got a couple people on their out laps. Oh, and that's the McLaren off straight away. It's not what he's going to be wanting. See if he can get it spun around. He seems to be okay now. He's going to have to keep an eye on those tyre temperatures. Looks like it should be dry for the majority, if not all, of qualifying today, so let's hope we see some good laps. We're going to follow Linsky for this first lap here. Got a yellow flag in sector 3, and that's someone also out of qualifying. I don't quite know what's gone on there. Got both Williamses out on their flying laps. We've also got SK1 Rim on his flying lap. Got Lescar, Dretox. Got a yellow flagging sector 2. Just trying to find who that is. I can't quite see. Linsky goes a little bit wide there. Going into the penultimate corner now. We've got Dretox who takes provisional pole, but he is the first man to set a lap time faster than Skyrim, I'm gonna say, by 5/10. See what Linsky's got in this lap. He has not set a time, so he must have invalidated on that one actually. We've got Blakely. And now he sets a time of 17.7. Dretox is the man to beat out of the first 3, but now Kappa has actually topped that by 2/10. It's a great lap by Kappa. Lascar also slotting in there with a 17.5. I'm going to follow Quintum as there is a yellow flag in sector 1. Quite see what's gone on there. I'm gonna go back to Quinton. Yellow flag in both sectors. I really do not know what's gone on over there. It's Quinton's coming around to to the end of his lap. Goes to P6 with an 18.1. Not bad. Just going stream. Another yellow flag. I really do not know what's going on. I think they're just slow moving cars. Soki Panther puts it in P5 with a 17.5. Not bad at all. We've still got Kappa though in pole position with that 17.0. That's going to be quite hard to beat, I feel. Another yellow flag in sector 3. Don't see anything going on there. Kyle Bailey says he hates the track. I've got it on Thursday. You'll definitely see me out of the session. So it's Tin. I don't know how to say his name, but he has been disqualified. Is that right? Yeah, disqualified. I don't really know what that's for. That is not where he would want to be in P15 now. That is a low blow for the Aston Martin. Oh, we've got yellow flags in all 3 sectors. These guys are really trying their hardest to keep it off the road. I'm going to follow the Haas for the remaining part of this lap as he goes a bit wide. Oh, and he's taken a spin as well onto the grass, completely cutting the corner. That's definitely going to be invalidated. He's going to have to go again. We'll follow Soki Panther instead. Who's looking to better his time of a 17.5. We've got a retirement of the session as well. The Hussets just spanned, so clearly a bit frustrated as Soki Panther goes 3rd with a 17.2. Puts him on the 2nd row, just behind Tygo and Kappa. Kappa still though with the 17.0. That's going to be extremely hard to beat. We're going to follow Dretox for this lap now as he comes around to the 3rd sector. Another yellow flag in sector 1. I'm assuming that's someone spinning off. As for Dretox, he needs to make sure the last sector of this lap is absolutely perfect to give him a best chance of pole position. And it's P2. Misses out on provisional pole by 1/10 there. A very good lap indeed. As Skyrim actually goes on to provisional pole with a 16.7, 3/10 faster than Kappa in P2, who I thought was destined for pole position. What a lap! So we've got the Williams there just getting out of the way. I think this is Tygo going for a hot lap as well. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2. Not too sure what that's about. We're going to rejoin, I think, Tygo, yeah. Looks like nearly everyone's out on the racetrack with just under 8 minutes of qualifying left to go. The Aston Martin could really deal with a couple of tenths. That looks a little bit wide. I'm hoping he hasn't invalidated that lap. Let's see where he is going to go. He goes onto provisional pole with a 16.6 and beats the 16.7 of Skyrim. I'm going to say that that's your name because I'm refusing to add in all the numbers, but that is an incredible lap time by Tygo, and that's going to take some beating. It really is. Got another yellow flag in sector 2, which is probably just slow moving cars. I think Kappa is now coming round to start in his hot lap. Who's now been displaced off the front row. Already 3 of the 16 drivers out of this session already. That is madness. We're going to follow Kappa for this hot lap here. It's been pretty tidy so far. I haven't seen many mistakes. Just got to keep it clean through sector 3, which he has done, I would say. However, I do not know what the delta is saying at this moment in time. Kappa comes round to finish his hot lap. Where's he gonna go? It's a better time, but he's still in P3. Is that all Kappa's gonna get from this qualifying session? I have a feeling he might be able to quickly get back into the pits, but we are not interested in that. There's another yellow flag in sector 2 and sector 3. I don't know what that is. We're going to follow Linsky for this hot lap. Has he got a better time in him than a 17.9? That is the question. As we have just about 4 minutes of qualifying left. Are any of these drivers going to knock Tygo off for that provisional pole, which will probably be pole if they can get anywhere near a 16.6? And that is my dog who is barking. We're gonna have to wait for the end of qualifying to sort him out. We've got Linsky coming round to finish his lap. I think he improves, but not enough to go anywhere higher. Then we've got Dritox coming round for the end of his hot lap. Has he got anything left in that Ferrari? Goes P4 onto the second row with a 17.0. Great lap from Dritox. We're going to follow Skyrim round for the end of this lap here. Using every last inch of the racetrack. Is he going to be better? It's a 66.2. Puts it on pole. Tygo's in the pits. I'm assuming he's going to get out again. He's got a 16.624 to beat from Skyrim. These two really going at it. And I feel like we're going to have some lap out of Tygo. With only 2 minutes left of qualifying. He's going to have to produce something special here if he wants to put his Aston Martin on pole. Currently our top 10 is separated by just under 1.1 seconds. And it's quite competitive there in the midfield, but first and second really showing their class at the minute. 3/10 in front of third place. As the Aston Martin of Tygo comes round to start his final hot lap. What has he got left? We've got Dritox, Kappa and Skyrim all in the pits. If he can better off Skyrim, that should be pole unless there is some miracle from one of the other drivers. And this is T2, guys, so I would not be ruling that out. A little bit of a wiggle on the exit of the hairpin there. As he slams it! Oh, and he's gone a bit wide. And that is surely ruined this hot lap. I do not see this lap beating Skyrim's. I mean, he went so wide there and he's off the track, and that should be it for Tygo's lap. I'm going to follow Lescar. I'm not sure if he's on a hot lap here. Could well, I don't know, he's not. Saving ERS. We've got Tiger retiring. We've got Blakely saving ERS. Yeah, let's see what Soki's doing. Soki Panther coming round to the end of his hot lap. And does not improve on 8th place. And that is the grid, my friends. We've got a very exciting grid for the race. It'll be interesting in turn 1 whether Tygo can go for a dive bomb potentially on Skyrim. I mean, I would not be ruling anything out at this moment in time. Qualifying has been absolute chaos, but it is Skyrim on pole. with a 16.6. We've got Tiger in second, Kappa in third, Dretox in fourth, Lescar in fifth, Morris in sixth, Blakely in seventh, Soki Panther in eighth, Quintumph in ninth, and I'm gonna say Puzzles, but it could be Pazels, in 10th. I'm very excited for this race. And to no one's surprise, it looks like another dry race. I mean, I haven't seen the forecast, but there could be some wet weather later. But the start looks dry from that clear blue sky that I can see. We've got a Let's Go B Blakely in the chat. I would actually like to see the standings, so if I can get that through from Dave. Obviously, the even runners will be starting on the inside of the racetrack, so they'll have the inside line going into turn 1, turn 2 and turn 3. So whether they will be left space to go for a attack by the drivers on the left hand side of the racetrack. As we have Skyrim coming round to take pole position. The Aston Martin slowing everyone else down. So far behind. So Skyrim's tyres don't get too cold off the race start. And we are away. It's Skyrim. He looks like he's got a good launch here. He has. He's got P1, and the Red Bull round the outside of the Aston Martin goes a little bit off the track. The AlphaTauri going down the inside. Should have the inside line. Lescar making up a place there. We've got the Haas of SBL made up a few places, and it's a reasonably tidy start from the grid today. Quinton making up a place there into the hairpin. We've got all sorts of chaos going on down there. The has been thrown off a little bit, but it's a perfect getaway for Skyrim. And a little bit of a wiggle there from the AlphaTauri. Is that going to lose him a place? Yes, it is. Kappa in the Red Bull making up a place, but Blakely in P3 from P7. That is an incredible start from him. We had that little bit of luck from the comment, I think, for Blakely as he takes 3rd place as the pack come round for the 2nd lap. It's Skyrim to Tygo to Blakely, Kappa in 4th. We've got Leskar in 5th, Dretox in 6th, Quintum in 7th, and Soki Panther in 8th. We've got a move down. We've got the Haas overtaking the Williams of Linsky, who has fallen out the top 10. And I don't know what that was there. I think there's Kygo going slowly. I think he must have spun there. We've got Morris in the pits. There must have been some sort of collision there. And we've also got a Ferrari on off the racetrack rather, who has spun it, and that is not the start that he would have wanted. There looks like damage on that left end plate as well, so he's going to have to come into the pits. But as for Skyrim, I mean, it's the perfect start. I don't know what we've got going on down here. There's been a collision. It's the Haas and the McLaren both off the racetrack, as the Williams Alpine rather says thank you very much and goes into P12. We've got a move from Kappa and Blakely here. We've got a very intense battle going on. Is he going to have a run down into turn 1 as we get the fastest lap of the race from Skyrim? They're going to be side by side. I think Blakely's got the inside. He should have the move done here unless the Red Bull tries to find it around the outside. He's gone down the inside, and it looks like Blakely has got that one done. That has brought both the AlphaTauri and the Ferrari back into this little battle for P2 though. It's going to be very close going into the hairpin. The Red Bull covers it off. Blakely drops back behind, and Kappa gains P2. We have a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting from Kyle Bailey. I don't really know what he is doing. But we have got Kroom in the pits. Obviously damaged that front wing. I'm not really sure what happened to him. But as for now, it's a 4.2 second lead for Skyrim. He looks like he has this under control, and it's only 3 laps in. I mean, that is just the perfect start. As we have DRS enabled, Blakely inside the 1 second window will be able to open the DRS. But is he close enough to the back of Kappa to make a move? I don't think he is close enough, and we have got a yellow flag in sector 3. I'm not too sure what that's all about. We're going to follow Quintum though as he closes up to the back of Soki Panther. Might have a run down this DRS straight into the hairpin. Is he going to throw one down the inside? No, a little bit too far back on this try. Maybe next lap for Quintum, but Soki Panther needs to be careful. As we have the battle for second place back on our screens here. Let's hope it stays like this all race, because this is exciting stuff. We've got Kyle Bailey back down into P15. I think he must have had a collision there with Morris maybe, but we are going to focus back up the front of the grid, we have a time penalty for Quinton, which is not going to help his pursuit for 6th place off Soki Panther. We've also got a 3-second time penalty for Skyrim. That is not what he needs in the leads of this Grand Prix. We've got Tin making a move down the inside of Quinton, who also has that 3-second penalty. What a horrific lap he's had. And now he closes up to the back of Soki Panther. We have another 3-second penalty, this time for Linsky, who is not having the greatest of races, down in P11. As we follow Quintum and Tin here. Quintum trying to get 7th place back off the Aston Martin. I feel like he's going to have to wait till that pit straight now, as he runs a little bit wide. But we are going to go back to Lescar, who is still following the back of that Williams. The Williams who has dropped out the DRS of Kappa, so he will not feel the DRS benefit coming down this straight, who's going to be very vulnerable to Lescar, who's just a bit too far back on this occasion, as we have a lapped car going through turn 1. Who does not seem to be yielding to Dritox, which is a little bit annoying, as we're going to follow Tin down the pit straight, too far back to make a move on the Alpine on this occasion. And Quintum, who has dropped out the DRS window of Tin, and we have a yellow flag in sector 1, and I'm not too sure what that is for. Seems to have gone now, but that is not what we like to see. So we're going to once more follow the Ferrari of Dritox, battling for P3. He's got to get through the AlphaTauri of Lescar first, though, who has been doing exceptionally well to keep his AlphaTauri in P4 and potentially move up to P3, as he follows closely the back of the Williams, but too far back yet again on this occasion. And just keep an eye out on that 3-second interval between Kappa and Skyrim. We've got a DNF for Linsky. Wow. I think I've just seen him in the barriers down the pit straight. We have a safety car, which is going to bring all the back end of the grid back into contention here. And for the people who have the 3-second time penalties like Skyrim, they are going to be extremely vulnerable if they can't pull away from those behind them. However, it is lap 7, so times could be worse, as we have another DRS DNF from Morris, and a drive-through penalty as well for Leon. Got a bit tongue-twisted there, but we have the Haas coming out just in front of the Ferrari to keep P12, but does have that time penalty and has got another time penalty. We're just going to have a look at the penalties here, just to get our bearings. No, just the 3 seconds for SBL, but 10 seconds for Bailey, a drive-through for Leon, 3 seconds for Quinton. And I think we have some pit action going on. We've got the Red Bull keeping the position, the Williams also keeping the position. We have the AlphaTauri and the Ferrari. Is the Ferrari going to get out in front of the Williams? The Alpine rather. No, he is not. loses the place to the Alpine, but the Alpine has that drive-through penalty to serve, as we have a... Was that a disqualification? I cannot remember. So everyone stopping, apart from Leon, who has that drive-through penalty. We have 3 cars out the race already. Not really sure how that has happened in 8 laps, but that is not to the concern of the rest of the drivers. Now I wonder if the safety car is going to come in this lap, because we still have some back markers who are going to try and make up some ground under this safety car, and if the safety car goes in, which I don't think it is, then they won't be able to make up that ground behind the safety car. We have no helmet on that Alpine, which is extremely dangerous. I don't know why or how he doesn't have a helmet. He doesn't seem to be too fussed about it though. And we have a race on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. Just going down the top 10, and we've got Skyrim still in P1. And we've got Kappa in P2, made up 1 place off the start. Blakely in P3 had a great start in making up 4 positions. Lescar in P4 making up 1 position. Leon in P5 making up 9 positions, but does have the drive-through penalty. Dritox in P6 losing out 2 places at the start. Should get one of those back though. Soki Panther making 1 up. Quinton making 1 up, and not the start that Tiger would have wanted after that unfortunate spin. And Pazel's keeping it neat in P10. Now I wonder whether the safety car will come in this lap. I think it should do. So we need to keep an eye out for that, as we're going to follow our good friend Skyrim. And I believe it is staying out, which is a bit unusual, but it gives the back markers time to catch up. So we've got the McLaren and the Ferrari, who are a bit behind still. The safety car really helping them get themselves back into this race. Now I wonder what kind of games Skyrim is going to pull on the restart, because he does have to make up that 3-second gap. So we need a good little stint here on the soft compound. And we're just going to have a look at the tyres. So we've got the 3 front runners on the softs. We've got Lescar on the hards. See if he can make those work till the end of the Grand Prix. We've got Leon on the mediums, who will have to pit. Dritox as well on the mediums. We've got Soki Panther on the softs, who is going to try and make up some ground on those harder compound runners in front of him. We've got Quintum on the mediums, Tiger on the softs, Pazels on the mediums, SBL and Kyle on the softs and the mediums. They both have penalties, and we have Kruim ending the grid on the softs as the safety car is brought in this lap. Now, I'm going to watch closely to what kind of games Skyrim is going to pull. Is he going to go early? Is he going to go late? What's he going to try and do to build up his advantage on the Red Bull behind him? It's not a very low speed corner, this last corner, and the Red Bull is all over the back of that gearbox. I wonder, and he's gone for it. The Red Bull right behind him, however. Is he going to try and make a move? No, a little bit too far back on this occasion. As we've got the Haas going a little bit wide there. We're going to shoot back up to the front of the grid. As Blakely looks to make a move on the Red Bull. He's all over that gearbox. He's going to have a go surely into the hairpin. Late on the brakes. Can he get it done? The Red Bull thrown a little bit wide there, but it's a beautiful overtake. And Blakely slots his Williams nicely into P2. And with the penalty of Skyrim into provisional first place. We've got Lescar just holding his ground there on the hard tyres. We've got the Aston Martin all over the rear of that Ferrari. Is he going to try and make a move work? No, he's going to bide his time. As we've got a yellow flag. I'm not too sure who that is. Cannot really tell who that is. I think it's Leon. I think Leon went off. Oh no, he's gone for his drive-through, never mind. We've got Tygo making a move for 4th place off Lescar. Lescar tried to make those hard work. They are clearly not up to temperature yet. And we've got the Ferrari and the Alpine going for it. Is the Alpine going to have a move? No, but the Red Bull might. He doesn't either, and that is a collision. The Haas has surely got damage from that. The Haas straight into the back of that Red Bull there. I'd be very surprised indeed if that is not damage to SBL's Haas. As we have another DNF from Kyle Bailey, I think. As Tygo now gets a 3-second time penalty. That is not what he wants in his pursuit of the front runners. 1.9 seconds away from those. We're going to jump on board with Soki Panther here as he chases down not only the Ferrari but the AlphaTauri of Lescar as well. The Ferrari all over the gearbox. Surely he's going to have a move. I think he's already through. Can the Alpine follow through on that? No, he cannot, but it's a great move from G-Tox. He gets a beautiful run out of the penultimate corner there. And puts his Ferrari into P5 as we've got some side-by-side action going on behind him. We've got the Alpine nearly takes out the AlphaTauri but makes it work. Soki Panther now up to P6, and that will do nicely indeed as we follow back with our front runners. We have Kappa just behind Blakely here. Blakely from 7th in qualifying up. Oh, and that is a big collision! Into the barriers goes Kappa. And that is another safety car. And that is surely head in hands for Kappa, which was almost a guaranteed top 3 finish. I mean, almost guaranteed is a bit of an overstatement, but he was driving brilliantly throughout the whole of this race, and that is not what we want to see. As we've also got Soki Panther overtaking Dritox, who finds himself in the pits with Lescar and Pazels. Now I wonder what the strategies are here. We've got some mediums on Puzzles, we've got the mediums on Lescar, and I'm assuming it's going to be the mediums on Dritox as well. "11 runners left in this race. Another safety car to disturb this race even more, as if this race couldn't get any more hectic. It has gone and proved me wrong. I'm just gonna have a look at the standings here. We have Tin in provisional pole of this race, so he's been disqualified, so he's not going to be making up any places. And Lescar behind him in P4 with 62 points, 2 points behind Tin, so he is going to overtake Tin if he keeps it on the road, which we have seen is incredibly hard to do around Portugal for the rest of the other drivers. As I think that's another Ferrari pit stop for Kruim, who is going to put the hards on, which is very different to everything we've seen in this safety car interval. We've got Skyrim, the leader of this race. He isn't even... oh yes, he is. He's 21st. Wow, only had 2 points in this. Oh, never mind. He's had... oh no, he disqualified last race. And he had 2 points in the Belgium, so this will definitely be Skyrim's best performance in T2. And as for the rest of them, we've got Kappa in P6. He's not going to be making up anything. If anything, he's going to be losing out massively to those around him, like Soki Panther, and I don't think Morris is in the race, even though he's not. But we still have 11 runners who are going to be battling it out till the death for the remaining 18 laps of this Grand Prix. You want to see tyres now. I'm very sorry I've read that very late. Let's have a look at the tyres. We've got the front four on 6 lap old softs. We've got Quintum just behind them with the mediums on. As I say that, we have Quintum diving into the pits on the mediums. I wonder what he is going to do. He puts the hards on. He's looking to go to the end of the race as well. I'm surprised he didn't try to do that earlier, because he might have kept a few positions if he did do that a little bit earlier. But not to worry, there is plenty of people who will have to pit again, like the front four, which, if you're Dritox, you are looking at that and seeing that as a pot of gold, because you might inherit the lead of this race when these come in, if you can just keep it in front of the likes of Lescar and Puzzles. And I'm going to make an extremely bold assumption in thinking that the safety car will come in this lap, and once again it is Skyrim to lead the getaway, with Blakely just following him. Behind him is Tygo and Soki Panther in 4th. Dretox in 5th with Leskar in 6th. We've got Pazzles, Kruim, SBL and Leon rounding up the points positions, and Quintum, who we just saw dive into the pits for the hards. And I wonder what the games are going to be from Skyrim. And he has gone for it. No, yep, he's gone. And that is a poor getaway for the Williams behind him. This is going to be neck and neck for him and the Aston Martin coming into turn 1. Is the Aston Martin going to try it? No, he's not. He's going to bide his time. We've got a bit of action going on behind. We've got the Alpine and the Aston Martin making a move on the Ferrari here, side by side, going through turn 4. It's going to be the Aston Martin going the long way round, trying to overtake off the track. And is the Ferrari going to try keep that position going into the hairpin? Yes, he is. Can the AlphaTauri fight it around the outside? Yes, he can. Leskar gets P5 off Dretox. And if he does not pit, he surely will inherit the lead of this race when the soft runners come into box. As we follow Tygo in P3, hunting down the Williams of Blakely. As the grid is still very close together, we're going to jump on board here with Pazzles, who looks to get a run on SBL in P7. Needs to floor it coming out of the penultimate corner, as I'm going to jump on board with Tygo. She's going to look to make a move on Blakely, but nothing going on there. Quintum, however, right behind Pazzles. Not going to make it work this time. However, it's very close coming into turn 3, and there's a little bit of contact which is going to send the Red Bull a little bit deep there. Can Quintum get the run onto the DRS straight and into the hairpin? Is he going to dive down the inside? No, he's not. He's biding his time, which is very sensible, as he is in it for the long run, as we have another time penalty for Leon, which is going to give him just 3 seconds. We've got Quintum in front of them, however, with 2 penalties, and that is Leon off the track and Kruim off the track as well, which is not what these drivers need coming into the midway point of this race. Well, we're past the midway point, which is even worse for them, if anything, as we watch the Aston Martin follow closely behind the Williams of Blakely. Blakely just too far in front of this occasion as SBL comes into the pit. What is he going to do here? Absolutely nothing. Right, must have been a drive-through. That is fair enough, as we're going to go back on board with Tygo, who is still hunting down P2, which is being held onto with all 4 limbs by Blakely. This is a really interesting battle, and Tygo could do with getting through here, as he does have that 3-second penalty, but so does Skyrim. So if he can just get through Blakely and have a battle with Skyrim, you feel whoever wins that battle will finish the Grand Prix in front, as Blakely dives into the pitch. So we're going to have Tygo going for Skyrim now, who are both on the 3-second penalties, and I think Blakely is going to put on the mediums. Yes, he is, as Tygo gets another penalty, which does not help causes going in to the 20th lap of this Grand Prix. 13 laps to go. 11 drivers left. And a lot to play for if you are a driver without time penalties, which occurs to be the Alpine of Soki Panther, as he is looking very, very happy in P3 at the minute, with the two drivers in front of him with time penalties. We're going to have a look at the tyres here, because the front three do still need to box. Now, is that going to play into the hands of Lesker? You'd think it will, but will Lesker make those mediums last? Now, surely if you are one of these soft runners, you're going to put on the medium compound, which I believe both of them are. So we've just got Tygo on the softs, who should be boxing this lap. I would put money on that. Actually, I wouldn't. Because it's T2, guys, and we have absolutely no idea what's going to happen. We've got the AlphaTauri off Skyrim making a move on Kruim, who has been last for the majority of this Grand Prix, but sitting in P8 at the minute after the pit stops. And we've got Quintum we're going to jump on board with, who is hunting down puzzles. And as we jump on board with Quintum, he has sent it onto the grass, which is not where you want to be. Poor Quintum has not had the worst of races, but sort of throws that all down the drain by throwing himself off onto the grass. And we should have put money on that pit stop, because Tygo comes in for the mediums. Now, where is he going to rejoin? Is he going to rejoin in front of this Williams? Yes, he is, but still behind Skyrim. However, the Williams of Blakely is right behind him. Blakely losing a position, I believe, to Tygo in those pit stops, but Blakely has got a very good run into the hairpin, late on the brakes. The Aston Martin 4 steep. Is he going to get a better run? Yes, he is. Tygo keeps the position of 7th place. As we have a spin, and he's drifting. What is he doing? He thinks he's rallying, and Tygo throwing the position away. Blakely inheriting P7, as we've got Leon and Skyrim battling it out. Skyrim on the much fresher medium tyres, Leon on the 6th lap old hards. And if you are watching this race, you are looking whether Skyrim can make up ground on those in front of him and re-inherit the lead which he has had for the majority of this race, as we're going to jump on board with Tygo. Is he going to send one down the inside? Yes, he is. A little bit of contact, and that is a collision. Has Blakely gone round? No, he hasn't. But Tygo regains a position, and if you're Blakely, I'm not sure whether you're very happy with that overtake, because there was contact. The stewards might have to have a little bit of a look at that, because there was definitely contact there. These two scrapping it out, Tygo making up for his mistake earlier, and re-inheriting 7th place from Blakely, as Soki Panther follows behind those two quite closely. But as for now, Lescar comes into lap 24 as the leader, 2.8 seconds in front of Dritox on the medium compound. It is all eyes on the wear and tear of those tyres though, because if he does need to box again, it could all be different, and it probably will all be different, as Skyrim is closing the gap remarkably, as Leon and Tygo have a little bit of a scrap going through turn 1. Tygo coming up better, into P6 he goes. On those fresh mediums, he's looking very racy indeed, as Blakely and Leon coming together at the hairpin. Blakely inheriting P7, as we're going to have a look at the penalties. Tiger with 11 seconds, that has really thrown him under the bus in terms of race position. However, we've got our leader Lescar and our third place runner Puzzles with 0 penalties. Also with 0 penalties we've got Soki, Panther and Kruin. Can they make up any places at the end just by keeping the car on the road at all times? As we're going to jump on board with Skyrim, who is on a rampage coming towards the end of this Grand Prix. DRS wide open, jumps to the right of Quintum, and he's already in front before the end of the pit straight. P4 for Skyrim. Next is Puzzles, who is a ginormous 7 seconds in front. Whether he's got the laps to make up that time, I do not know. He has been on a rampage so far, so I would not put it past him if I can get my words out, as we've got no real battles going on anymore. We are just going to follow along with our P4 runner Skyrim, who is charging through the pack. He has already made up a second on Puzzles. He is fully sending it round Portugal at the minute, and all money is on Lescar, however, who is running a very tidy race in P1 all the way from P5. He has had a brilliant race, not to mention Puzzles, who has come from P3, as we get a fastest lap of the race from Skyrim, who is probably not far off Puzzles. He's made up 2.1 seconds that lap, which is absolutely incredible. And if I am Puzzles, I am extremely nervous come the end of this Grand Prix, whether I will keep hold of my P3. However, we have to consider the penalties. Skyrim will have to build up a 3-second gap on Puzzles to fully capture that P3 position. However, he has Dritox in front of him with 5 seconds, which could also come into play as well, as we're going to jump on board Tygo, who seems to be closing the gap once more on Quintum. 8 tenths apart, these two now. And I'm extremely excited to see whether Tygo is going to send one into turn 1. You would not put it past him. As he is well within the DRS margin, we're going to jump on board. It's got 0 ERS left though. We are not going to see a move on this occasion. However, we have another straight coming up, as he is right on the gearbox, nearly pushing him through turn 3, swinging it left into turn 4. Has he got the DRS? Yes he does, of course he does. He is right behind him. Sends one, got the inside line. Easy as blooming cake. Quintum going to try and fight it back, but to no avail. However, if we look back at Skyrim, he's closed that gap right down to 2 seconds. And you feel next lap he will be well within that DRS margin, if not already past Puzzles. The pace difference between these two cars at this moment in time in the Grand Prix is significant. And I do not know where this one is going to go. Skyrim just over a second behind third place of Puzzles. And you feel he'll have a great chance going into turn 1. Needs to make sure that this last sector is up to standard if he wants to give himself a great chance into turn 1, and it has been pretty tidy so far. I mean, just look at that, he's closed down the gap nearly 2 seconds in 1 lap. Gets a nice little run out of the penultimate corner, round the last corner now, slams it through there, slaps the DRS open very aggressively, comes right up to the bit of gearbox, jumps to the outside, jobs a good one, sends it into turn 1 and inherits P3. I don't think Puzzles has really got much to say about that. As we go back further the order, Blakely glides through Quinton, who has just been dropping down the order since the restart, really, on those hard tyres, with a 9-second penalty to come his way at the end of this Grand Prix. And he has got Soaky Panther for good company as well. Blakely running out of Quinton's sight, really, as we watch Soaky Panther go round the last corner. Is he going to get a good enough run into turn 1 to go for a move? He's getting closer, 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 goes for it into turn 1, very late on the brakes, jumps too far, however, onto the outside of the track. And now he's got a penalty for that as well, which is not great. Can he switch it back? He's got a decent run going through the second DRS straight, jumps to the left hand side of the hairpin, grabs the inside line, very late on the brakes once more. However, he's kept it in track limits that time. Quinton, not much to say about that move. However, in doing so, Soaky Panther has picked up that 3-second penalty, which is not what he wants if he wants to beat Blakely in this race for P6. As we're going to jump on board with Skyrim once more. Since putting on those mediums, he has been an absolute rampage, as he looks to hunt down Dreetox. As it stands, he will inherit that place at the end of the Grand Prix anyway. And if you are a spectator of this Grand Prix, you are putting all your money on Lescar to win this one, because he is just keeping it nice and tidy in P1. No mistakes coming out of him. As of yet, he has got his strategy bob on, as we have got a yellow flag in Sector 2, and it is Crewham in the Ferrari down in P10. He has not had the most brilliant race. as I'm sure you will admit. 45 seconds behind P9. It is looking like a P10 position for him come the end of this Grand Prix, as we shoot right back up the order. On board with Skyrim once more as he comes through the penultimate corner of the racetrack. Can he get a good enough run on Dritox? It's looking very likely. Coming into the last penultimate lap, I should say, rather. Not enough speed on him this time. Is he going to send one into the hairpin? Yes, he is. That is a audacious move, but he makes it stick, and he goes past Dritox and puts his AlphaTauri behind his other AlphaTauri, Lescar, in P1 and P2. What a turnout it has been for that pair. But is he going to send one on Lescar in the dying moments of this Grand Prix? You just feel he is a little bit too far behind with that time penalty. Without that time penalty, however, he is well within contention. As we follow Quintum, who is chasing down P7, but does have that 12 seconds worth of penalties which will shoot him down the order. As we follow the race leaders once more, we've got Lescar coming in to start the final lap of the race, currently holding off his AlphaTauri partner in P2. We've got Dritox in P3, Tygo in P4 with his 11 seconds of penalties. However, we've got Puzzles in P5, Blakely in 6th, Soki Panther in 7th, Quintum in 8th, and 9th is Leon with 10th crewing. As we jump back on board with our race leaders, is there going to be a move in the dying moments of this Grand Prix? He's got about 1.5 sectors to do it, as he gets a bit wobbly going out of the exit of the fast right-hander. Coming through the left, and now I don't think he's going to have enough in the tank to do it, and it looks like it is going to be an AlphaTauri 1-2, but a Lescar P1 as he comes round the final corner to win the Portuguese Grand Prix, with Skyrim in P2, Dritox in P3, Tygo in P4 at the minute, but I don't know if he will drop down the order a bit, as Puzzles inherits P4, Blakely inherits P5, Tygo currently in P7 with Soki Panther jumping up to P6, Quintum in P8 as it stands. Whether Leon will take that position, we do not know. No, he doesn't. He misses out, but P9 for Leon, and if I am correct in saying so, it should be a P10 finish for the Ferrari of Crewin. As we follow on board the last lap, now SPL is really pushing with his 9 seconds worth of penalties. We're going to get a little bit of action coming out of these two in the dying espers of the race. SPL with the penalty, but who cares? Go on, son, send one. Has he got enough in the tank to do it? I don't think he does. Has he? Oh, it's going to be close. Oh no, it's going to be Crew in P10 and SPL P11, and that was a fantastic showcase from the T2 drivers. Round of applause to Lescar in the AlphaTauri, and Puzzles takes driver of the day. A great drive from all of these drivers today. obviously we had a few DNFs as well, which just added to the chaos, as we have the AlphaTauri and the sister AlphaTauri car of Skyrim in first and second, with Dretox in P3, and I'm sure those boys or girls will have a night to remember. So we have Skyrim with the fastest lap of the race by a fair margin with an 18.5, and I thought he was going to do it at the end there, but just fell short, so fairly unfortunate to him, but well done everyone. That was a extremely exciting race to watch. But don't go anywhere yet, because there will be T1 on Thursday, so we have that to look forward to. She'll be in Portugal as well. I will be racing. I say racing, I will be coming last, because my fortune this season has not been brilliant. And I believe that will be the end of the stream, so thank you for watching. Goodbye.